Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second recording on this Monday. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. Got a word for you. Tap in. Happy second recording, guys. So I'm still trying to catch up on emails, but this will definitely be my last one for today. So I'm going to read this email to you guys really quickly if you have time to listen. Hey Kizzy, my name is such and such. I absolutely love your bubbly personality. I laughed so hard because I heard a recording of yours last week and you were talking about when someone has betrayed you or hurt you, when you have to be in the same in the same atmosphere such as PTA meetings. I laughed so hard because this is truly my situation. My ex cheated on me. We were not married, but we were together for 10 years. We have an 8-year-old daughter. Anytime she has a school event or some type of event that requires both of us to be there, I literally want to clip him up. But I truly thought in my head that I have forgiven him and I moved on. However, why am I still feeling this feeling? It's so hard to get over the fact that I've been so good to him, yet he betrayed me. Also, why is it that the person who seems to cheat or betray the person is the one who get to move on and be happy? He's currently dating someone else, and my daughter actually likes the female. If I'm honest, it's very hurtful. I'm still seeking, trying to move on. I've met a few people and went out on a few dates, but nothing is sticking. Do you think this has to do with the fact that I'm unhealed and God is blocking my blessings? Why is it that the person who does the harm seems to be moving on with life and they're happy and the good person is struggling? Any thoughts would be appreciated. Okay, sis, you can't clip them up now. You can't do that, right? You might go to jail. Okay, thank you for your email, truly. Okay, the first thing I want to say, and this is just my opinion, right? Take it to God. Eat the meat, spit out the bones, however that saying goes. This is my true, transparent opinion about forgiveness. I think everyone have a different definition about forgiveness or whatever. Ultimately, I do believe what most people believe, and that is forgiveness is for you so you can get that rage out of your heart, right? Because that toxin and stuff, we don't even realize how much damage unforgiveness does to us. I think people tend to think like, well, if I forgive the person, then the person kind of like they got over on me, right? So I think a lot of people hang on to unforgiveness because they think like the person has one up on them. When in fact, it's really about you forgiving them so you can be free of that situation and free of how you thought things would have worked out or should have worked out in order for you to heal and move forward. Next, I want to say this. Please, 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 be gentle with yourself and patient with yourself in the forgiving process. You know, I've heard some people say that forgiveness is, a very quick thing. I mean, I don't know who those people are, right? Because I'm just being honest over here. Like, listen, I'm a Virgo, right? We're loyal to the end. So it's almost like with people who are very loyal, right? My chosen ones who are very loyal. We got your back to the end. Like we could never do you the way you did us. Like that type of mindset. I think what really lock us into that hurt and keep us in that unforgiveness is that we can't understand how someone could do something that we couldn't do. That's what's keeping us stuck. Rather than realizing we're cut from a different cloth. We're rare. God made us a certain way for a certain reason. See, our hearts are pure, but really our hearts are pure because God needs us to reach people in different ways. Instead, we don't know how to separate that. So we're giving our hearts to people in romantic ways or just people that we chose that God doesn't even have a part of. So then what happens? We're left to basically fend for self because God didn't tell us to choose this person or that, unless he told you, sis, I don't know, speaking in general here, right? God didn't tell us to choose this person or that person. That's flesh. So God gave you this big, beautiful, pure heart because he knows how he wants to use you for purpose and calling. We keep getting mixed up and we want to just somehow, swerve in other lanes that's not even supposed to be. So now we get our hearts broken because we're thinking like these people have beautiful, pure hearts like us. but we're rare. We're in a very, very small people with, and that doesn't mean you're perfect. Let me be clear here, right? When I say pure heart, it doesn't mean you're perfect. Oh, no, no, no. You're human. You're flesh. You still got your stuff, right? You still got your moods, right? You still got your ways. You might be snappy. You might be this. You might be that. But ultimately, your heart is pure. Your heart is pure. When you move, you're moving from a heart posture. There's nobody in the face of the earth can come back and say, you got a bad heart, you're heartless, you're grimy. Not with real, authentic, chosen people. Period. And I'm saying that on a social media platform. Nobody. They might can hit you with your mouth, you're this, you're such and such, you're such and such. But they can never, ever, ever attack your genuine heart and how you move, because that has always, always been pure. All right, next, there's this misconception, and I'm not saying this about your situation, but I hear a lot of people say things like, well, the person who hurt me, they've moved on with a great life and they're happy. Listen, you don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. Now, of course, if the person has messed up on you, they have to put a front on every time they see you, right? So now they got to put a front on because it's almost like, well, let me show her that, I'm happy. And then the chick is going to make it seem like everything is all lovely and dandy because she knows that, she got a side eye for you, or you might have a side eye for her. So she's going to amp the game up. But honey, once they leave wherever you see them at, when they get behind closed doors, probably miserable. Right? So we can't even focus on that. Who knows? They could be happy, could be miserable behind closed doors. But you can't get caught up on that. See, that's what keeps us tied up, because we're too busy worried about they got the upper hand or why they're not suffering and why. Listen, God will deal with people. One thing I've learned, when you let God, even though it may not happen as quick as you would like it, or it may not happen as quick if maybe you feel like you could do the revenge, right? When you let God do the revenge, listen, it's so much sweeter. Like, I thought that was just like a cliche, but it's true. When you sit back and look at some of the people who've betrayed you, who've hurt you, who've lied on you, who started rumors about you, who did this about you, those people's lives are hell right now. And even if they don't tell you, you hear about it. But look at you, right? You're still coming up. Now, granted, you may feel like you're not meeting anybody because it is some type of punishment and you were the good person. It just might be God just truly wanting you to choose better this time. Wait on him this time. So nothing may be sticking because, again, like you did with this first gentleman, right? You chose. And now what? You're here with a broken heart. You're hurting. So now God is saying, well, listen, you did it wrong last time. I'm sorry. Let me do it this time. But that's going to take some work, right? Yes, I need you to forgive him first, which again, forgiveness is a process. Don't let anybody rush you. It's a process, right? But get this process started. Maybe he is waiting on you to get this thing up out of your spirit, this hurt, this pain, this resentment, whatever's going on there, before he brings you what he has for you, because he don't want to bring you, a beautiful man, that he has specifically for you. And here you're traumatizing the man, or you don't trust him, because if he don't answer his phone because he's working late, you're doing the same thing my ex did. Are you going to hurt me too? Right. Nobody got time for that. It's hot outside. Whew. Peggy. Nobody got time for that drama. Let me tell you something. When you get up in due season and God starts releasing blessings to you, again, many people tend to think that blessings don't come as burdens. Sometimes blessings are also burdens. Not in a bad way, but in a heavy way. So when you're trying to steward certain things properly, you just don't have time for certain type of energies. Period. Like, seriously, if I already pick up on something, you might be jealous, or you might be this, or you might be nagging, or you might be... Nobody got time for that, because you're trying to steward what God has entrusted you with. So you need somebody who's on board with you, right? Who's matching your energy. So because you chose that way, God may have you bumping your head a few times, for you can understand, like, he needs you to sit still, to heal. Once you heal, and once you're not wanting to clip your ex up when you see him, then it can start to show him like, okay, she's healing now, right? I can really go in here and not even patch up this wound, but close this wound so she can get the person to have her. And guess what? Guess who's gonna hear about that, boo? Guess who's gonna hear about that? And when you hear about it, whatever he got going on, honey, most times that thing then fell to the ground, and now he's going to want you back. But guess what? It's not even going to be a conversation. So see, that's how God works. When we go and we mess with him, we try to retaliate. Now you want to start a rumor and tell the girl something about, yeah, when he came to pick up my daughter, he filmed me, or something petty to try to start some drama. And it's like, God is like, listen, if you want to move with that low frequency and that foolishness, do what you do, boo. But either you're going to trust me and you're going to understand that I saw what he did. I saw what he did. Yeah, you chose. I wasn't involved, but I still saw your heart. I saw your pure intentions. I got you. But I still got to heal you before I give you what I have for you. So stop going on random dates just because you're bored, just because you want him to hear your daughter to go and tell him, Mama got a new boy. Why am I seeing this vision in my head of a child going and telling her daddy on the weekend at his house that Mama got a new boyfriend, right? And the daddy sitting there questioning the daughter. Well, let's not act like this stuff doesn't exist, but I just randomly saw a vision in my head, right? So maybe one of you guys got that going on. But anyway, once you get out of petty mode, then that's when you'll start to see God move. Now, I did say in that recording, yes, and this is just my personal beliefs, my personal testimony, my personal transparent moment. For me, what has always worked, right? Because that tit for tat stuff like that, your flesh just really want to get people back, like seriously, especially when you've been good to a person, like for real, right? But the only thing that has worked for me was the more higher God took me, and the more he entrusted me with, and the more levels that I climbed, and the more things he exposed me to, and I got to see the other side of where he's taking me, and the people I've met, and the things I've achieved, and all these things like that. When you sit, and if you're there, sis, when you sit right where you are, and if you're real with yourself, if you think back, if you're real with yourself, if you had attempted to take this person or these people, you would never have achieved the goals that you're currently at or the levels you're at, because it's different, right? So if you're not there yet, right, when you get there, when you allow God to heal your heart and you're just not moving out of flesh and just wanting to clip him up and this and that, and you just really sit and you stop dating around just to say you got some, just sit and let God really work on you and transform you. When God starts taking you higher, when these blessings like start blowing your mind and it doesn't make sense, that's God paying you back. See, we keep looking for people to pay us back. God pays us back. Now, once you get to those certain levels and you have a moment just to breathe, because sometimes climbing levels is like mind blowing, so you're just kind of like going with the flow. But when you have a moment to sit back and really think back on that ex or that past or whatever, you will realize that these people would have truly held you back. And so that alone almost makes it like, thank you. I said that in the Ed recording too. Like, thank you. And you're not saying thank you, right? Just to be petty. But you really mean that, right? So when I made that recording, I think a couple of weeks ago with the video of me walking and saying thank you, like that was no petty moment. But people got convicted. So you see, like my heart is pure. I'm truly saying, my God, thank you. Thank you. Because I would have been still caught up in that crazy mindset of who's cheating or you ain't coming home and this, and I'd have been caught up in that mindset of why am I so misunderstood? I don't understand. Why can't you see my heart? I'd have been caught up in that nonsense. So these people didn't betray you, didn't hurt you, or didn't this or didn't that. You would have never make it to the level where you currently are or where God will currently be taking you. So your thank you for hurting me is truly genuine. And you mean that because it's like, oh, I would have missed all these blessings if I would have married that fool. I would have missed all these blessings if I stayed caught up with that toxic family member who kept me on. You would have missed all those blessings. So your thank you would be genuine. And guess what? You didn't have to retaliate because he or whoever would have to watch from afar where God is taking you. So when they see, because see, when people hurt you, a lot of times, well, I'm a firm believer, this is me, I'm a firm believer in some, all caps, some. Sometimes people don't hurt you intentionally. Some people are just broken. They're moving from their own traumas, right? They're running from love and they're running because they're hurt. They got their own childhood wounds. So they're not going to risk falling in love. So when they fall in love or feel like it's coming on, they're going to run from you and find somebody else that they can just be comfortable but not in love with. And so we take all that stuff personal when in reality it's not even about you. It's about them running from their own trauma wounds. Now, granted, you got some people who are intentionally out to hurt you. These people are both will have to watch where God is taking you from afar. And they can't even be a part of that. First of all, their pride won't even let them reach out. Their pride won't even let them reach out and be like, wow, like you're doing amazing things or whatever. Some may, if they're mature enough, I guess, right? But the point I'm making is, that's your retaliation right there. You're on top. And as Pastor Blakes would say, you're on top and you're going higher. And they're looking up. They're looking up, wishing and hoping they never messed up. Ask me how I know. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.